In the summertime, when the weather is high, you can reach right up and turn to the sky. In the summertime, you got living on your mind. It's the 18th of July 2020, and I've just come across a rally for trans rights outside the Civic Centre in Plymouth. The Ocean City, pink, white and blue. It's all about you.
One has to live with the same level of fear and alienation that my peers and I have lived with our entire lives. I'm 21 years old, and I've already seen too many of my trans siblings lose their lives to the economic, social and political turmoil that being trans in this country results in. It's been indicated that we'll hear about the government's plans for the GRA the beginning of next week. I can only hope they listen to these protests, to the initial responses they received in that consultation, and that we start to see some progress. Either way, I'm glad to know we stood together today in love and solidarity. My hope moving forward is that the general cisgender public lend us their ear, because somehow I need to know that they're starting to normalise our existence and to humanise us in some little way. In any way possible, I want to do what I can to help myself and my friends find a little bit more peace and to push for a safer future for the next generation of trans people. Today I'm working towards that by congregating with like-minded people against what could be a catastrophic rollback or postponing of progress. I'm working towards it by continuing to dress and present in a way that would be traditionally considered feminine, despite living in a society that tells me that's the wrong way to be a man. I'm working towards it by loving my surgical scars, loving my transness, even when I understand the pain that's come into my life because of other people's hatred of those same things. Whatever happens moving forward, I will remain proud. I hope as many other trans people as possible can leave here feeling the same way today. We do exist and we do deserve better. To kind of wrap up the speech sections, and the other organisers and myself thought it would be best to end with a moment of contemplation. I'd like to ask everyone to reflect on the stories they heard today, on their own role in perpetuating or challenging transphobia, and on what their activism might need to look like moving forward. We'll be marking this period of reflection with a 2-minute silence, which I will indicate when it's finished. Thank you.
Towards any label, and I've always felt like it changes a lot, because gender isn't a finite thing in my opinion, it's a spectrum, and I am all over that spectrum, believe me. And I like to use the term non-binary quite a lot because it's more of an umbrella term, I feel, but at the same time the fact that term, it isn't very widely used, I see, in this community. God, yeah, it is. But in like the realms of like the public, there's not, can you really name a lot of public figures that identify as non-binary that aren't Sam Smith or someone like that? I can't really think of any. It needs to be more accepted, and people should not be discriminated against because they identify outside of any traditional gender binaries. We are living in space-age times with Stone-Age minds, and we need to really update our laws to the 21st century, because Jesus Christ, that needs to happen, doesn't it? It's unbelievable how badly trans people are treated in this country, both by the government and by people around. When I came out as non-binary, Jesus Christ, that was a whole other thing. When I told but you know what I mean. Point is, if it's more, it should be more, someone said it earlier, I can't remember who, so I do apologise, but someone said earlier that it's not taught in schools enough, that we, exist and are valid and loved and all that jazz, It's unbelievable how just, once again, everything needs to be updated to the 21st century, just reformed, everything. That's pretty much all I had to say. Just stay safe, keep a mask on, and remember that Stonewall was a riot.
I also can't get my GRC because I can't get medical certification due to the extreme length of the waiting list for the GICs. We've heard many stories and many impassioned pleas here today. We've heard trans women are women, trans men are men, and non-binary is valid. We've heard that so many times over the last 2 years until we were blue, pink and white in the face. Black, purple and yellow too. They have heard us, they have heard our allies too, but they don't care. It's time they don't just hear our affirmations, it's time they heard what we need. I would like to echo the words of Juno Dawson that she spoke 2 weeks ago in London. What we need isn't unreasonable. We need safety, we need healthcare, and we need recognition. For too long, anti-trans groups have painted us as aggressive, monsters, and something to be feared. Yet ONS data yesterday shows that trans people are twice as likely to be the victim of crime as cis people. We will not stand for this anymore. We demand our rights to be protected, not rolled back, and we demand our safety. I have been on HRT for the last 2.5 months, privately, as trans healthcare doesn't exist for anyone who has come out in the last 3 or 4 years. The waiting lists for the GRCs are spiralling out of control. I have been on the waiting list for the Laurels now for 28 months, and I'm sure there are people here today who have had a longer wait than that. Gender-affirming care reduces the impact of mental health issues. It lessens the danger of self-harming and suicide. Proper healthcare shouldn't be something we should be demanding in 2020, but neither should we be fighting for the right to use a toilet. Earlier this week I spoke to a journalist from BBC Spotlight. She asked what difference reforming the GRA would make to my day-to-day life. I had to explain it wouldn't make any. The changes proposed will grant us dignity at some of the most important times in our lives. Applying for jobs, getting married, and being remembered for who we truly were when we're gone. It makes no difference to using a public toilet or a changing room. Instead of granting us a little more dignity and taking the humility and invasive process that I and other trans women currently face, instead of legally recognising non-binary people for who they really are and trying to roll back rights we've had peacefully and we've used for the last 10 years. Human rights are for everyone. We should all be equal with no differences. We say no to hate. We say no to discrimination. We demand safety. We demand healthcare. We demand recognition.
Cool. I've never used one of these, so I'm really sorry if you can't hear me. My name is Caden. I go by they and them pronouns, and I'm non-binary. I kind of wanted to use this moment as a bit of a promise to everyone, because I'm an actor, or at least I'm trying to be an actor. I'm trying my hardest. Yes, I see that. But it's really hard in the acting world because everything is female or male. There is no in between. There's no representation for trans people or non-binary people. And I want to change that. I'm absolutely terrified of going to auditions, not because I'm going to be rejected from them because I'm not good enough. I'm pretty used to rejection, that's fine. But I don't want to be rejected because I can't play a man's role, because I don't look manly enough. I don't want to be rejected from playing a woman because I'm not womanly enough. I don't want to be rejected because I'm not enough of something else. I want more representation. I don't want another cis person playing as a trans person, because it's just not right. Someone who is able-bodied shouldn't play someone who can't walk. That's not fair. So why is it fair for a cis person to play someone who doesn't understand our struggles? There has to be more representation for the youths and for the people who don't know who they are just yet. I only figured out that I was non-binary because I saw Asia on, I believe they were called Billions, the TV show Billions. I only realized that I was non-binary because I saw someone else who identified that way, who used they, them pronouns, and I want to be that for someone else who doesn't know who they are. So I want to make this promise that I want to change the world, the acting world, for our youths and for our younger people, so that they can try and figure out who they are in this crazy world, or at least be some kind of comfort to them. And I want to make that promise to you guys here, that I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure that happens. Thank you guys for being here so much.
Sharing her. I take pride in that. Do you know what I do not take pride in? It's a lack of education. The situation is that we are under attack. We have been under attack not since the 1950s, not since the 1880s, but before that. Since recently, J.K. Rowling has said prejudiced things, only because she's a well-known figure. This government, what we have at the moment, is nothing new. In Poland, they've just elected someone who is anti-LGBT. Why am I saying this? Why am I standing here using my time and telling you all in such a loud voice? It is because we are divided. The LGBT plus is divided. The trans community is divided. The healthcare in this country is divided. Now, for someone who is on a low income, I had to rely on the NHS. I thought, I'm young, I can take it, but times came and they fogged me off. I had to go down privately, who I had to come off because I couldn't have the money. Being trans or being anything a part of the LGBT plus is hard. There isn't enough laws, or isn't there enough right laws? When you go and sign on, or go and put on male, female, they don't have other genders or other situations on the forms. We haven't got the right laws, we're divided. The way how we're thinking within the LGBT plus is backwards. We now think that a person who wears a dress or whatever is looked upon as forward. It is not. It is a piece of clothing. We need to rethink how we look at things. Fashion. Fashion is a strong staple of why we have so much harsh sexism in society. Fashion is what makes so many young people look up to what they want to be. We need to change the way how we look at things, the way how we perceive things, the way how we greet each other. You go into most shops and they say, yes sir, yes ma'am. Maybe we should stop doing that and saying, how are you today? Yes, how may I help you? Those small changes from every single person here can develop into a rolling cannonball, you could say. People need to organise, not just fight back, but not organise. Organise within the LGBT plus. Understand what is it that we really want. Having rights, all good. They are easily given, they are easily taken. And that's the fact. If we stop being so divided, then we can understand what we actually want. We want total change within our country, and we don't want to just care about our own selves. If Poland elects someone else, we should, as a country, should show that we are not going that way. Thank you.
different. People don't normalise being different, and yet they advocate for being yourself. I need to throw up my hair. I'm so sorry. They question people for being too masculine or feminine when it isn't even their business. It was my choice to change my name and pronouns, not theirs. They even had the audacity to complain when I wanted to switch to something more neutral, because it wasn't normalised. It isn't even taught in schools, leading to people hating themselves due to media and not entirely understanding what they are feeling and who they are. We live in a bigoted and ableist society, and that needs to change. Protests are about change, and if they won't change something honestly quite stupid and harmful, we will fight back because we have no choice. I shouldn't be up here because I shouldn't have to be. We have always existed and we always will. So make a change and take a stand. Stand for what is right and what is human, so that we can be progressive and free.
Prove to them how we feel about our own identities. It is unfair and invasive, and it upsets me. But at this point, I think I'm beyond upset. I'm angry. I'm very angry, to be honest. And it's hard not to get violent. And I feel us standing here being peaceful, that's showing our strength and how united we are. And I think we're all beautiful, and I just want everyone to know that. You're loved and respected, and your feelings are entirely valid.
Thank you.
I didn't have the right to. I felt like, what do I know? I haven't had surgery or hormones. I'm scared to even approach my doctor about that, because I know in my heart that they're going to say that I'm not enough. And I am sick of feeling that way. I shouldn't have to fight to justify my existence at every turn. There is no...
We love you!
Thank you!
You got this.
Yeah, thank you. And I guess what I wanted to come up and say is that there's no such thing as trans enough. That's a fucking stupid concept. And I'm tired of arguing with myself every time I fill in a form about what box to put, what name to write down. I'm just a person, and I shouldn't have to argue with anyone about that anymore. And I'm not going to. I refuse to spend any more of my life lying to the world to make their lives more convenient. I'm really not sure how I'm supposed to end this. That's basically just what I wanted to say. Trans rights.
Most of us live on benefits, we live on the shadows, basically. And so many transgender people end up taking their own lives, or they die alone because they don't have family support, because they don't have that community support that we all need as human beings. So I would like to ask you as a community today to see what you can do. Every single person, you can throw an event on a monthly basis. You can see what you can do in your workplace to show as a physical demonstration that transgender people are welcome there, and everyone is. Sorry, kind of losing my steam. But basically, I think we need to all be working on more practical, pragmatic things every day to make sure that nobody's going hungry, everyone has friends, everyone has somewhere safe that they can stay. And really, I mean, with my local chapter, the Devon Radical Queer Network, we've been doing small things such as potluck events, and just reaching out to people and throwing events like this as a community, because isolation is not okay, and we will not go back into the shadows.
I'm just a bit from Barnsley to be with you. I came out as transgender in March of this year, and a couple of months later my wife left me. So and it started a steady stream of feeling like shit, to be honest with you, which ended with me trying to take my life. Because of that, I received a letter on Monday from Leeds GIC where I asked to be referred by my GP, who is absolutely brilliant, by the way, guys. He is really, he's a proper trans ally. He's done everything that he possibly can to help me, and even by Thursday of this week he phoned me and said to me, I'm not happy with what's happened and I'm going to do everything in my power to get you a referral, because mental health and being transgender are two completely different things, and refusing you on the grounds of trying to take your life is detrimental to your mental health rather than helping you. So basically that's all I wanted to say is I've listened to everybody that's spoken today, and it's made me feel like I am part of the community, because it's been pretty crap, to be honest with you. I mean, there's guys here, they know who they are, who've been supporting me throughout. So much so that I have made the decision to come and live in Plymouth. So, thanks for listening, guys.
Would anyone else like to speak before? I don't really have anything planned, so sorry if it's a bit of a mess, but I wanted to talk about something that's quite close to my heart, is the concept of doubt and doubting yourself, because I know we all do it, and society does two things. It makes us doubt ourselves by saying that we're not valid and we don't deserve to live the lives we should be living, but it also tells us that if we doubt ourselves, then there's something wrong with us and we're not trans properly. So it makes us doubt ourselves, and then it punishes us for that doubt which it's caused. And we don't talk about it. There's this image in the trans community of a trans person who knew they were trans from the minute they were born and never had a single ounce of self-doubt about anything. And it's just not true. I know we've all doubted ourselves. I've had top surgery, one of the best things I ever did in my life, and I was doubting myself right up until the night before I had it done. And I just wanted to say, I just want us to be able to talk about it to each other and support each other. And if you're sitting there on your own, doubting whether or not you're doing the right thing, talk to someone else, because I know we all feel the same, and it's like this big secret in the community that nobody talks about. But it's okay to doubt yourself, because to be honest, if you're questioning your gender at all, you're not going to be cis, really. Cis people don't do that. So yeah, it's okay. That's all I wanted to say. It's okay to doubt yourself, and we all do it, and society sucks, but let's have some positivity.
A bit, everyone's kind of got me a bit. I just wanted to say, I guess, now that we're in this whole kind of COVID thing and things are, shut down and stuff at the moment, and there's going to be a lot of changes to our local businesses and our local community and stuff. And I guess I'm really hoping that Plymouth's queer scene kind of ups its ante a bit and helps out trans people a little bit more. I mean, I'm not going to name any names because there's only like 3 of them. But a lot of the kind of gay LGBT spaces in Plymouth are not trans inclusionary. They really don't put in a lot of effort to help out the trans community. Everything is very gendered, and there's been multiple occasions where I myself have been in the men's bathroom in queer spaces in Plymouth, and I've been hassled, I've been followed, I've had people push me out the bathroom, people ask what's in my pants, you know? And I really just want to say I hope that Plymouth, as a queer community, ups its game and we kind of push our queer spaces to be more accepting and more open to the trans community, because they're not doing good enough. Thanks, I guess.
I just want to say how empowering and beautiful it is to see everyone just thriving in a system and a society that is built so heavily against us, that is constantly fighting against us, and to come to somewhere, I don't know how to explain it, but just to see so many beautiful, friendly faces all coming and creating and developing a language that has been taken away from us so repetitively in the past. It's so emotional, and thank you everyone who has just shown up, everyone who has spoken. Thank you everyone, yeah. Hi, my name's River. My pronouns are she, her, and I could stand here today and talk about many things that are wrong with society. I could talk about TERFs, I could talk about just many people just being assholes, basically. But there's not much point. They know who they are, we know who we are. My gender is not up for discussion. Woo! No one is. We are valid. We should be seen and heard. I wasn't going to talk today, but it's not very often that trans people get given a platform. So I'm fucking taking it. Yeah. So here I am. We're all here. Let's be seen and heard. Yeah.
Hi, my name is also called River. My pronouns are they, them, and I am non-binary. I haven't spoken at a protest before, so this is a first for me. I came out as non-binary a few years ago. I have been on the waiting list for the Laurels in Exeter for probably 3.5 years now, and I've been on hormones privately since. And I get misgendered and discriminated against every time I leave my house. And it's gotten to the point where I've just become complacent with it. I'm not complacent, but I'm almost numb to it. And it shouldn't have to be like that. It shouldn't have to be the case of like it's just worn me down to the point where I just don't care. Every time I go out, I am too scared to use the female bathroom, which is closer to my identity than the men's. But I do so because I'm afraid. I don't admit that to anyone, except this afternoon, I guess. And I'm speaking because I want my voice to be heard, and I hadn't had a speech prepared, so I'm just going off what's coming out of my mouth. I initially came out as a girl and then discovered that I was non-binary, but even though I did everything, you know, I wore wigs and everything else like that, I tried passing, you know, toxic contraception itself, but even then I was still misgendered and at the time dead named because I hadn't changed my name legally yet. And that has to change. We have to stop being afraid and stop staying quiet about it. You know, we've been given a platform now, which has been said previously that we don't often have one. So we're going to grab it and we're going to take to that stage and we're going to make our voices heard, because this is the time where we fight back. Trans rights!
trans people so fucking amazing. Like, look at queer people and queer community, we are so powerful. We can do anything if we put ourselves together and work for it. And having my little queer community, the RQN in Plymouth, finally, like, I love myself. It's allowed me to love every part of my trans body pre-transition. And that's something I want to talk about. Trans people who can't transition, don't want to transition, you know, they're on the waiting list for fucking a million years. You're so valid. You don't have to bind. You don't have to bind yourself to be a man. You don't have to cut to be a woman. You don't have to conform to cis standards. You don't have to make yourself smaller. You can be as big and hairy and weird and queer as you want. And it's amazing. And I just encourage you to all just be very, very aggressively trans, given all the opportunities. Trans rights. And I want to thank the Devon Platform Queer Network, obviously, for coming together and working as a team to organise all of this. And I want to thank all of the trans people that came before us, especially the black trans women who came before us, who have paved the way for us to be where we are now. Thank you so much, and I guess let's end on another chant if people are okay with that. When trans rights are under attack, what do we do? Fight back! What do we do? Fight back! What do we do? Fight back! When trans lives are under attack, what do we do? Fight back! What do we do? Fight back! What do we do? Fight back! When trans rights are under attack, what do we do? Fight back! What do we do? Fight back! What do we do? Fight back! When trans lives are under attack, what do we do? Fight back! What do we do? Fight back! What do we do? Fight back! Thank you all so much.
Moonlight falling on the streets of the city. Time for shadows to come out to play. And the winter twilight walk away. Moonlight falling on the streets of the city. Time for shadows to come out to play. And the winter twilight is cause for easy. Walk away. Moonlight falling on the streets of the city. Time for shadows to come out to play. And the winter twilight is cause for easy pickings on a windswept night. Moonlight falling on the streets of the city. Time for shadows to come out to play. And the winter twilight is cause walk away. Moonlight falling on the streets of the city. Time for shadows to come out to play. And the winter twilight is cause for easy picking. Walk away. Moonlight falling on the streets of the city. Time for shadows to come out to play. And the winter twilight walk away. Moonlight falling on the streets of the city. Time for shadows to come out to play. And the winter twilight is cause for easy. Walk away. Moonlight falling on the streets of the city. Time for shadows to come out to play. And the winter twilight is cause for easy pickings on a windswept night. Moonlight falling on the streets of the city. Time for shadows to come out to play. And the winter twilight is walk away. Moonlight falling on the streets of the city.
Special thanks to everyone involved and music by Jazmin from Plymouth. This has been a Summertime TV International Subscribers Production 2020. You can contact me at Jazmin21@gmail.com. Thanks for watching the video.